In this video, we're talking about what to do when you are operating an Airbnb rental arbitrage unit illegally, so stay tuned. Vacation Rental Machine helps hosts just like you learn how to start, grow, and scale your short-term rental business. This show is all about creating systems that help you automate your business, giving you more time and money freedom. If you're ready to start living the vacation rental life, then subscribe to this podcast today. Come and join us on our Facebook group, The Host Nation, where we'll be talking about starting, automating, and scaling a short-term rental business. Now, on to the show. Hey, welcome back, Host Nation, to another episode of Vacation Rental Machine. I'm Julian Sage, and in this video, we're taking a clip from one of our student coaching sessions where a student came to us. They didn't work with us prior to, and they got into a contract with a landlord, not under everybody's understanding. They're kind of in a sticky situation, and we were trying to help them work how to maneuver around this type of situation gracefully. It's not a pleasant place to be in, where regulations might not be that favorable or where a landlord does not know. So we're walking how to be able to backstep out of a situation like this, so that way there is as minimal damage as possible. Like we said, it's best to not get into these types of situations. I see it time and time again in the Host Nation Facebook group with people saying, hey, can I just not tell the landlord and then start operating? Or, hey, I'm in this type of situation and the landlord's kicking me out. I hate to see those types of comments. So please, let everybody know we are in this business for the long term. So we are trying to find those favorable situations with landlords. Yes, it is a lot more work. Yes, you're going to hear no a lot more times, but this is a much longer and sustainable business if you are able to make sure that everybody is okay with the business that you're providing. And it should be a value add to them. So if you want to be able to listen to some other videos where we talk about, the value add, we have a plethora of those types of videos, how to be able to pitch to landlords, how to be able to have that conversation in the channel, which you can find down below. But in this video, we're just going to be talking about how to backstep out of this type of situation.
The situation is that we signed this lease. We literally went head first, like not really doing enough research and things like that. We signed this lease thinking, yeah, we can just do Airbnb, and we didn't let the landlords know. So on the lease, once we read it afterwards, it says that we can't do like subleasing. That's not allowed. So now we're thinking, and like obviously we don't have a license either. We found that out after the fact that that area needs a license. So we're kind of operating like under the books, no license, lease doesn't allow it. And we're thinking like, we found this out after the fact, and here we are. What kind of steps should we take at this point to like protect ourselves? How should we move forward from here?
So, okay, tell me more about how you guys kind of introduced really what you were doing. Like, were you completely trying to hide it? Were you half hiding it? What was going on there?
Oh, we didn't tell them at all about Airbnb. We figured like it was, we didn't research into that. So we figured it like it was allowed, and we just kind of went into it. But yeah, we, like the landlord, as far as they know, like we're living there. Like they don't know that we're doing this, and we don't want to like continue having that kind of stress of like, yeah, what if they find out, we'll get in trouble, that kind of thing. Because when we started, we didn't think of any of that. And here we are.
You don't have any external photos, correct?
Yeah, we have pictures inside and out.
Ooh. For the right now, I would remove any external photos. 1. 2, I would try to have a conversation with as close to the landlord as you can get, because you do want to be above board, or at least I prefer that you're above board. And everyone knows exactly what's going on, because what could happen is, 1, do you have the right insurance on the place? That's the first question I have. 2, if something were to happen and you guys were not there, is the landlord at risk of total loss because renter's insurance isn't going to cover short-term rental business?
So the thing is, we opted out of renter's insurance because we figured the insurance offered by Airbnb and VRBO would cover it. So that's all we have. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not going to cover you. It's more of a bridge gap if you really think about it. It's not really to get up to $1 million. Airbnb will make you go through so many hurdles and hoops. It's almost better to just hey, have their host guarantee, get as much as you can from them. At the same time, use that as your deductible. Have them, whatever they give you, have them pay the deductible for your regular insurance to cover the full thing. That's the best way to get it to work. Trust me, Airbnb is not freely signing out money, and they have a bunch of little gotchas in there just to hem you up. And the first one is you have to report an issue from a guest before the next guest comes. And if you don't do that, you're SOL, because now it's really between you and the guest. And more than likely, as any guest would, nope, it was like that before. You can't bill me anything, and go kick rocks. And then Airbnb will say, hey, I'm sorry this happened to you, but we see that your next guest checked in at 4 p.m. the next day. So you're outside of the window. Here's our policy. Go kick rocks. And then you're left holding the bag of rocks. So you definitely need the right insurance. So I would get into compliance as much as you can right now with insurance. I'd come up with like some type of credibility pack. And I think we have something for you guys just to list like what we do as professional host. You're already there. So you kind of have a foot in the door. Now it's just about righting the ship, right?
Okay.
Expose what securities you have in place to prevent against everything that they would fight about. That means noise monitors. That means the right insurance. That means, external cameras to make sure that people aren't really vandalizing the place, or having a massive party or anything that way. You want to get right with all of that. So then you can kind of show that, hey, I'm actually a professional guy. I'm not just kind of winging this as I go, and your property is just the subject that I just was able to kind of sucker you into just signing over to me. Then you said something about regulations. So I guess before all of that, do regulations allow you to short-term rent a single family home?
Yeah, as long as we get the license. Like, we have to go through that process first.
Okay. Well, you're probably going to need the landlord's signature on that license.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got to have that conversation first.
Okay.
Worst case scenario, they want to break the lease. They want you out. Or best case scenario, they might want more money because you're making money.
Mm-hmm.
You got to put on your best professional front and try to right some of the errors that were done in the beginning.
Okay. So we should approach the landlord, the leasing agent, and tell them, hey, like, should we say like, hey, we're thinking of doing Airbnb here, or like, hey, we've been doing Airbnb?
I mean, there's many ways to kind of go at it, right? I mean, you could say, hey, I got to move. All of us got to move. But we're thinking about doing this. Is this okay? You can try that. Or you can just say, hey, we got into this thinking that we can do this. And, we were not above board. We want to get above board. See if it's something that you guys will accept. We're, of course, going to be guaranteeing your rental payments for the entire term of the lease.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, that's the safest route, is to put everything out in the open right now.
God forbid something happens, right? Something happens at the property. The police get called, and now it's something to look at. Oh, what was going on? What were you doing? The owner will get involved. They'll probably notify something about the city. The city will then be like, oh, but they're not paying taxes. The roof will cave in at that point.
Yeah.
The insurance too, like, if you have insurance, and the place burns down, the homeowner might not be able to get, the right coverage for that. And yeah, it could get really messy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, in that area, what we've seen is like, generally they would like send out a warning, but it wouldn't come directly to us. It would go to the homeowner, and then the homeowner would contact the property management company, like the leasing agent.
And how do you think that conversation to go?
Well, so that one, in our specific case, like the property management company, the leasing company, they haven't been very responsive to anybody. So the owners have started directly contacting us. The hot tub service company started directly contacting us, and even maintenance, we got into direct contact with them like a long time ago. So.
Well, that's a good thing, because you can try that angle as, okay, we can property manage this whole piece. that might be an avenue for an in. But again, I think that conversation is better sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
And at this point, sounds like the hot tub might be broke. So
yeah,
we already got one thing. Like, who's going to fix the hot tub? Or are you not going to tell them about the hot tub?
So the hot tub company is actually in the process of fixing it right now. It's just a matter of like who's going to pay for that. Like right now we're going to pay out of pocket, and then we're going to try and get money through Airbnb from the previous guests that broke it. And that was kind of our approach so far.
All right.
Yeah. But the main issue is like, yeah, so like Summit County would send us a warning, like it would send the owner a warning. But if by chance they send it directly to the like property management company, then like because of their lack of communication, we wouldn't know about it. We wouldn't know that the warnings arrived, and neither would the owner.
So then that means you go from a warning to a fine without knowing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make me sleep good at night.
Yeah. A lot of nights like that for us.
Good news is you got the furniture and you've been operating the business, so you know how it works. Just gotta find the right property in the right location.
Yeah.
Hey, Host Nation, would you like to work directly with Julian and I to help you start and scale your own short-term rental business? Go to shorttermsage.com/coaching to attend our step-by-step training and learn how we can work together. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Hope you hosts found value in this episode. If you did, please go on over to iTunes and leave us a review, as that would greatly support the show. If you'd like to connect with John, the community, and I, then go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation. Talk to you hosts in the next episode. Keep on hosting.